Good morning, good afternoon, good night. How are you? It is a pleasure for me to be with you again to talk about the present, continuous, and present tense. Let's start with this important. Okay, when we are going to use the present continuous. Okay, the present continuous is used for action in progress and future plans. We have some examples. The first one, I'm making dinner right now. They are swimming at the pool in the park. He's meeting his friends for lunch tomorrow. What about the simple present tense? What is the difference between the present continuous and the simple present tense? The simple present tense is used for frequency, habits, and routines. For example, when I say I make dinner at least twice a week. Returning back to the present continuous, you have to be conscious that we have to use or we need the auxiliary to be. Okay, and the difference between the simple present tense, we don't need the verb to be, students. Okay, in questions, for example, we have, are you going running tomorrow? What time are you playing tennis? You have to be careful that in simple present, in questions, we need the auxiliary do. For example, we have, do you always play golf on Saturdays? How often do you lift weights? In present continuous, we need the auxiliary to be, and the simple present tense, we use the auxiliary do. When we are talking about simple present tense, it is important to know that we can use the adverbs of frequency. What are the adverbs of frequency? Adverbs of frequency always describe how often something occurs, either in definite or indefinite terms. An adverb that describes definite frequency is one such a weekly, daily, or yearly. We have examples of adverbs of frequency. For example, when we are talking about 100 of percent, and when we are really sure, we use always. For example, everyone always speak well of Mark. Usually 90%, generally 80%, often 70%, sometimes 50%, occasionally 30%, seldom around 15, rarely is around 5%, and never is when you are not sure about to do something. I never forget. I never forget a face. I never forget a face. He rarely makes a mistakes. My father seldom watches TV at night. I occasionally eat meat and so on. What are the adverbs of frequency and then? Always, usually, generally, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, and never. Continue talking about simple present tense or the present continuous. Complete the sentences. Use the adverb and correct form of the verb in brackets. Okay, you have this exercise and you have to look for the picture. And according to the picture, you are going to choose the right option in every sentence. For example, our teacher, Mr. Jones, never be late for lessons. What can you say about it? I often clean my bedroom at the weekend. My brother hardly ever helped me with my homework. I sometimes bore in the math lessons. We rarely watch football on TV. You and Tony never play computer games with me. So you can see that between parentheses you have some options. So it is important you to pay attention about the picture and about the options that you have. Okay, practicing and practicing. My daily routines. What about you? You can say, oh, teacher, I always clean the house. Talking about never. I never go for a walk. I always put on makeup. I always make the bed, and so on. This picture is just to practice the adverbs of frequency that we were studying today. Thank you very much for your attention.